Hi everybody, Peter Breen from Publicis Commerce here. We are almost live from Groceryshop 2025. We're here talking to executives from across the Publicis Commerce landscape to get their perspectives on the key themes and the important takeaways that they're encountering here at the show. Right now we're happy to have Rob Rivenburgh, who is president of Publicis Commerce, here with us. Rob, I know you've been at some sessions, you've been talking to a lot of clients. What's the buzz? What are you hearing?
Well, Peter, thanks for doing this, and thanks for inviting me to do it. I would say there's, I think just being here a day and a half, I'd look at probably nothing new for most people, but I would say there's probably 4 themes. And of the 4, I would say the first one's probably a throwaway because everything is about AI. Hearing all that, so I won't go to talk a little about that, but I would say there's probably 3 things that I've seen, and I think they've evolved. I think since the beginning of the year. I remember the last time probably doing this at CES and how some of those themes evolved. Not hearing as much about uncertainty. I think people have accepted where we are today and that uncertainty is the new normal, and they're obviously operating in that manner. But I think probably the 3 things beyond that 4th throwaway would be, first is hearing real focus on, I would say, transformation or organizational design. I think we're hearing a lot of that. Forever we've heard about not being integrated, being seamless, silos, all that, and I think we're starting to hear it in earnest, but hear it with actually action that's actually being done. So you're hearing a lot about organizational redesigns, capability building, so that's encouraging, because I think everybody realizes how important it is to be seamless, not only from a customer experience or a shopper experience standpoint, but I'll call it business synchronization. I think that you have to have that synchronization within any organization to ultimately get that appropriate experience design. So I think that's probably number 1. Number 2 is a real passion and energy around agility, speed to market, test and learn, iterate, adapt, adjust. I feel like there's a lot of energy and a lot of little examples around that. I always say perfect's the enemy of good. I think people are moving beyond that we've got to try some things that I think are important. And I think the 3rd thing is more about, I think that people are approaching things a little more methodically as it relates to how they're going about with their business plans, specifically their consumer or shopper plans, and being much more structured with what is the guidance, what are the KPIs, how are they integrating the various tactics within the plan, and what are the objectives of those tactics, what are those returns that we're looking for, whether it's from inventory to digital shelf. You're seeing it all over. Retail media, using retail media a little different, using social a little different, and I think each one has an objective that's all tied to this. So I think there's much more of a methodical approach, but also one that if it's not proving out, they're pivoting and adjusting very quickly. So those are the 3 things I think I've taken away in this short period of time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob.
Okay.
We're going to be coming back at you for the next couple of days with some more perspectives on other executives at Publicis Commerce here at the show. And then on October 8th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a final wrap-up recap of a webinar featuring 3 executives from across our team. So if you'd like to sign up for that, look at the information that is going to accompany this video on LinkedIn. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.